just starting out learning piano and you're sitting down at a keyboard and you have no idea what you're looking at, this video is for you. So, looking at a keyboard as a whole, you'll notice two immediate things. You'll notice a complete series of white keys on the bottom and a complete series of black keys on the top. Now, you're probably wondering, why isn't every key like this segment, where it's split, just every single key alternates? What's with this unique pattern? Well, the truth is, if we didn't have a unique pattern like this on the keyboard, it would be very difficult to identify what you were playing where on keyboards of upwards of 64 or 88 keys. Not that it's perfectly easy for a beginner anyways, but this makes it a lot easier. So this unique shape allows us to subdivide the keyboard into segments. These segments are called octaves. If I play an octave, you'll notice that it's 8 keys away. I would suggest watching my other video that delves a little bit into chord theory to understand what exactly this means in terms of playing on the piano. But for now, just keep in mind that this is how we subdivide the keyboard into different sections. And when I say sections, when we look at an octave, you're usually going to see a grouping of 2 black keys and then 3 black keys with a little divide here between these are E. This is an E and F. And this unique shape repeats like a pattern. And so what we do is we can label each of these octaves. So we usually say them as a letter and then a number. In the case of the letter being C, C is typically the standard we use to subdivide octaves. We wouldn't typically go by other keys. And the default key that I usually suggest on the keyboard is C4. This is the most middle key on the keyboard and pretty much your standard single note to be playing. But we have other octaves. So every keyboard has different length, but usually standard there's 64 or 88 keys. That usually only affects the upper range. Sometimes the lower range, usually the lower range, I know it's kind of out of view here, goes down to a low A, but you have C1, C2, C3, C4, C5, C6, C7, and usually the keyboard ends on C8, which is a high C. Now, what notes do we have inside each octave? Well, on the white keys, we have a C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and again, our resolution or octave. On the black keys, we have a C sharp, a D sharp, an F sharp, a G sharp, and an A sharp. Now, that again can change based on key signatures. I explain the key signatures in my Reading Sheet Music series. I suggest you go look at that as well. Alternatively, you can have a B flat, an A flat, a G flat, an E flat, and a D flat. But again, that depends on the song or configuration that you have in front of you. But overall, that's how you can learn to understand the structure of the keyboard. And if you pair that with learning how to play sheet music, you're now starting to learn how to play piano accurately and successfully.